Good morning, everybody. This week I'm having a rant. I'm absolutely gobsmacked at the price to enrol Cleo into distance education for prep. Yes, she's in prep. $2,500 basically to enrol her into distance education Queensland for prep. $2,500. The breakdown on that is it's about $1,800 for the enrolment fees. I don't know what that pays for. There's no breakdown of it, but nearly $1,800 just in enrolment fees. There's a $300 deposit which you get back and then have to pay for it again the next year when you enrol them. Don't understand that either. I suppose people's plans change. Get it. All right. And I think her resources scheme was around $250. That's for her book list, basically everything that she needs for the year. Yeah, they send out books and everything like that. But $2,500. The school fees alone are nearly $1,800. $1,800. I just don't get it. It's just so expensive. I didn't think it'd be that expensive. I didn't think, you'd be paying basically private school fees to put it into distance education through the state government's program. It's just ridiculous. I haven't looked into what the private school fees are. I'm too scared. I'm just too scared to do that. If the state government's charging that much money, you can imagine what the private schools are charging. But I think my biggest thing is that that's for prep. It's prep, like they're just little. I don't know, it's just crazy. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. We guess we can apply for an exemption. We don't fit in any of the categories for an exemption. The exemptions are if you are travelling for work, so an itinerant worker, working in a carnival, a sheep shearer was their examples. We're not doing any of that, so we can't apply on those grounds. If we live so far from a school, a certain distance from a school, well, that's not applicable either. Medical reasons, there's no medical reasons. They did say to apply, like they said for everybody to apply, put in your circumstances, I suppose, and they may approve it. They may approve a reduction in the fees. And I'm going to apply for an exemption. I'm going to go with the grandparents, we're her grandparents. Yes, we have full custody, but we're her grandparents. Can you give us a exemption for that? Yeah, why not? But yeah, I'm bewildered, at the cost of it. Another thing too, which I thought was crazy. I rang one of the campuses. There's 7 in Queensland. So I rang one of them just to get some info. And basically her first words to me were, because I said we're travelling and travel around Australia, I want to put her into, distance education for prep. Basically her first words to me were, you do realise that she has to do 9 till 3 every day. That is our school hours and the hours that she has to be, sitting down and learning. And I went, she's prep. She's in prep. You expect me to sit her down at a table from 9 till 3 every day? And she said, yes, that's what we expect. That's what we, all our students do that. I went, she's prep. They don't sit down at a table in prep from 9 till 3. They do activities. They go look and explore and, nope. She has to be doing school from 9 till 3. With that, I hung up. I was like, okay, no worries, thank you. So I am going to ring one of the other campuses and see what they say, because I did message a travelling family to get their opinion, and they just said no, that's not what happens. For example, because they do online, there's an hour, I think, of online. I don't know if it's a day or a certain time of the week. They had their kids had an online session that they could have gone on that day, but it was too hot and it was a beautiful day, and they decided no, we won't do that. Right now we'll go do what we want to do, and they, because the sessions are recorded, they came back. They did their day, did what they wanted to do, and it was a couple of days later they jumped on and went, oh, we need to do that learning session, and did it a couple of days later. So they said, no, it's not that rigid. The person that told you that shouldn't have said that. And their kids aren't in prep. Their kids are in primary school. I think the oldest one is, it's her last year of primary school, so she'd be in grade 6. So they said no. And that was the other thing that I thought too, like, they're learning on the road. There's so many more things that they could be learning out on the road. Different animals. I'm sitting here looking at a butterfly out the door, which made me think, they see things like that, and we can teach her things about butterflies, which she knows. She knows how butterflies are created, and we've talked to her about that. But then, the different things out on the road that they're learning, that's part of schooling. She doesn't need to be sitting at a desk for 6 hours a day. That was just crazy. Yeah, so I just want to know everyone else's opinion. What do you think? What's your experiences been with Queensland education and the distance school? Has anyone applied for an exemption and got it? What did you say? What did you put forward? I have thought of using ChatGPT. ChatGPT is good for things like that. See if they, chat GPT to write up the letter, the exemption letter, for me, so I can send that off to the school, whichever one we pick to go with. But yeah, just want to know what everyone's thoughts are. If you've applied for an exemption, was it successful? What did you say? How did you word it? You know, and yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, we're going to do it. She will be doing some sort of distance education. We will put her in. We will enrol her and put her in. I don't want her to miss out. She loves school. She loves prep. She loves the learning side of it. She she wants to learn. She thrives on it. Yeah. The other thing, just the other thing I wanted to say too, Queensland Government with their kindy program also have an online kindy program, so a distance education for kindy. That was free. Clara's already enrolled. I already have her pack. They've already sent it to me. It was free. 100% free. The things same as kindy, I suppose. You do 15 hours a week. They have the online sessions, online schooling as well. She can sit down and see a teacher for an hour, I think 3 times a week. She's got little activities that she can do. There's artwork. They sent out little bits and pieces of art. Books, everything. The box was huge and it's heavy, for kindy, and that was free. So I don't get why they're charging so much for prep. It's not much different than kindy, except it's school. It's school based, I suppose. I don't know. I just, it's just doing my head in. It really is doing my head in that it's nearly $2,500 for prep, just for prep. Oh, my phone's ringing now. Hang on, I'll turn that off. But yeah, so disinterested. What has everyone else done? Has it, have you applied for an exemption? Did you get it? What did you say in it? You know, especially if you're not in any of those categories, if you can't apply, because you're not in any of those categories. Um, yeah, that's just basically it. Rant over. Um, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. Love your comments. But yeah, I think my rant is over.